I feel like the editing process for this episode is going to be a lot of us just taking out coughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except me.
Except
You
for
just have to
Lainey.
take out me saying dumb things.
Lainey's
Which will be most of the episode.
You are the only one who's not sick.
We
and
should-
the
we
most
should-
inclined to say dumb things.
We should have an episode where we take out the dumb things Lainey says, but we don't take out the things that we said around it.
We should do an episode that's just Lainey saying dumb things.
Honestly,
It could be like a bonus episode.
Dumb
We
Lady
could take-
Corner.
We could take all of the lines that we've had to cut from Lainey and take them out of context and just put them one right after another on. I actually think this is maybe the
Honestly,
best use of that
I
credit.
was gonna say that this would be a mini-sode, but actually I think it'd be longer than our regular episodes.
Honestly, if you ever wanted to convince me to just stop talking, to like take a vow of silence, it would be to just cut that together and have me listen to it. And I'd basically just be like, okay, never speaking again. Okay, bye. Bye, guys.
She's like, I will go be a monk somewhere.
Well, I guess we don't want that.
I mean, it'd be pretty hard to have a podcast where
Wait,
one
she is
person
going
is
to
just
be a monk.
silent.
I am going to be a monk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will be I'm taking a vow of silence probably for the next year and a half. So,
Starting January 22nd.
22nd, I'm starting my year and a half long vow of silence. I will be here recording, I just won't be speaking.
Okay, as much as I would like to maintain that, I feel like we should clarify. Lainey's going to be around for one more episode, the first episode of our second season, because this is a season finale right now, you guys.
Yay!
Yay, we made it.
Yeah, so first episode of our second season, Lainey will be here. Then Lainey on January 22nd is going to leave to serve a mission for our church for 18 months
Yay.
in Houston, Texas, which is exactly where I served my mission.
Yeah.
Count
Fist
it.
bump.
We did a fist bump. And we're very proud of her, and we're going to miss her, and we're going to tell embarrassing stories about her on the podcast when she's not here.
Mostly
Yep.
just gonna be me embarrassing myself in front of Bible
Yeah.
Belt people.
Erin, what's our social media?
It is Princess in Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Very good. And do we have an email address?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anybody remember?
Princess in another podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay, good.
Guys, I just took a wild freaking guess.
All four of us were like, yeah, that's our email, right?
Probably.
I have it on my phone. I have like
It is.
Fact check.
It definitely
Fact check.
yeah, princess another podcast at gmail.com.
What's the last
We
thing
have
we
no
got?
new messages.
We got one from Instagram.
We've
People
got
on
messages from
Instagram.
Instagram, from YouTube, and someone trying to get us to listen to their SoundCloud.
Aw.
But I think they think that we're SoundCloud rappers.
We're
Oh,
gonna
boy.
be laying down some sweet tracks.
Jensen and I have a seasonal job, and we're not really sure when it's going to end.
Yeah, we have
so
no
we're a
idea
bit
when it
too-
ends, and we're really scared to
We're
ask.
too scared to ask because we're in too deep, you know?
Like, okay, think about it. Think about how awkward this is. You're like, you've got a job, and you're doing your job. Like, think about it if you were the boss. If one of your workers just came up and said, hey, when do I get to go home and not come back?
I mean, it
Wouldn't
could
that
be
be
today
weird?
if you're lucky.
Like, it's
You
kind
know,
of,
there's gotta be a not weird way to ask that question.
I know.
But you're clearly not even trying to think
It's
of
true.
one.
No, it's like,
just go up to him and say, Carl, my dude, make sure to put your hand on his shoulder.
No,
Like,
I'm not gonna do that.
And go,
That-
hey.
Why-
Hey.
Why would I make myself feel intensely uncomfortable
Jensen.
to make him feel
Say,
more uncomfortable?
Carl, my
This
dude.
is not, no.
It's been a wild past couple of months.
Why are you squeezing my shoulder like that? You're like gripping it like you're gonna fall off your chair, and I'm the only thing that's gonna keep you from hitting the ground.
This is how you handle your
This is not a friendly gesture.
Okay, so you do remember that both of you went through to a drive-through, sat
Oh.
there, no one said anything, and you didn't think to talk into the speaker and say, is anyone there? So
No.
I don't know if Lainey should be giving advice.
It's been a wild past couple of months, but like I gotta go home at some point.
Okay.
And I don't really know when that's gonna be.
In all seriousness, tomorrow when you go to work, you say, "Hey, Carl, when's our last day?"
Yeah, you just say, I understand.
I suppose that would work.
That makes so much
seasonal.
sense.
If he looks at you blankly and if there's any like space in the
I mean, he
conversation that
always
feels
kind of looks
awkward,
at you like that.
then all you have to do is follow it up with "for the seasonal workers."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Okay.
all you have to do.
Okay. It's just.
And then I'll just go, what seasonal workers? You were here forever.
You're here for life. We
If
own
Just
you
remember,
now. Didn't
you're
you know?
here forever.
if that happens, then you say, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go down to 6 hours a day because you don't need me."
Or it's don't forget you're here forever because it goes to do it for her. I watched that episode of The Simpsons. I know what I'm talking about. Gosh.
This is the part we're gonna edit out.
This is one of those bits that's gonna end up in the Laney episode.
Oh boy.
I remember that episode of The Simpsons.
That's almost
Because,
all of
I
them are
mean,
gonna be like
Lainey.
trying to prove myself to the universe.
Lainey,
What?
I love that episode, but this has nothing to do with anything.
You have nothing to do with anything.
You're gonna say, I love that about you.
I'm just gonna take over right now.
What
What game did you play to capture the Christmas spirit? And why does that specific game capture the Christmas spirit for you?
So I chose Kingdom Hearts 3, not only because it feels magical, but also because I've been meaning to play it forever, and I was super excited when it came out, even though I haven't played the first 2 games, but like, cool concept, and combine that with modern day gaming, and you got yourself something there. But I mean, it's Disney and Final Fantasy characters, and your main sidekicks throughout the game are Donald and Goofy, so can you get any more magical than that?
Really? No, really.
Yeah, really.
You can't.
No, you can't. But only on my second world right now, which is Toy Story, but I'm loving it so far.
Toy Story 1
It's the best one.
is amazing.
And it's when Woody says, you're so focused on the shadow that you forget the light that casts them. And it's like poetry.
Bars.
Like, he just...
Woody just
he
dropped
just
some
spat
serious bars.
some real bars right there. And the entire world felt it.
The only thing I don't like about it is the gummy ship. Like, why? I couldn't care less.
I feel like that annoyed me in the first game, too.
Yeah.
The gummy ship.
Like what I
gummy
played.
ship.
Yeah, from what I played in the first game, I was just like, why is this a thing? And I don't like ship flying games.
Just putting in mini games to try and get places.
Right. Right? Trying to collect stuff make me even more stressed about being a completionist. But yeah, overall, I am super loving it, and I can't wait to get farther into the story.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
just the magic of it all. It's
I know that I said I wasn't going to start any more new games, and I was only going to work on my backlog, and I am a liar.
same.
I started a new game of Dark Souls. Of all the things to do with my time, I started a new game of Dark Souls. And it was honestly because of the text that I got from you guys, where you were like, play something that for you embodies the Christmas spirit. And for me, it turns out that's Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I love it. And it made me really happy.
What new game number is this?
I don't even know.
I don't know if Elsa wants to think about that right now. It's like when
really-
people ask me how much time I've spent on Skyrim, I'm like, over 1,000 hours. Don't ask me again.
Sometimes
like-
I think about it and I feel very worried.
It's just one of those questions you don't ask. You don't ask how much someone paid for something, if they're
Right.
gonna have a baby soon,
Oh.
and you
Yeah.
don't ask how many hours they put into Skyrim.
Honestly, though, you're
Yeah.
not playing a game correctly if that's not your initial... Like, you don't initially feel fear the second someone starts asking you about the game, because you're like, please don't ask me how much I've played of it. Please don't ask me how much I've played. I don't want to out myself as a nerd to you, okay?
Don't ask me
I'm
how many
always-
copies of the game I have.
Oh, God. Seriously.
I'm always
though.
pretty proud though about the amount of time that I've spent in the thing. That's why I'm frequently bringing up that it took me 213 hours to beat Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I didn't fast travel.
Jensen kind of takes pride in her nerdiness.
Yes.
Mm.
I
It's the
kinda-
only thing I have going for me in my life, you guys.
try to hide it a little bit more, but I will say I'm still proud that I'm a completionist when it comes to Inquisition, and I've beaten that game like 3 times. So that's 130 hours times 3. And I don't ever change any of the ways I play it. I always play as the exact same character every time.
Well, in my defense about starting a new game, this is the first time I'm playing it on PlayStation. So
Oh.
That's
Nice.
so it's
that
an
counts.
experience.
Yeah.
That counts. It's a new experience.
yeah, and I'm excited about playing it on PlayStation.
Mhm.
It's good. I mean, I played Demon Souls on PS3,
Yeah.
but this is the first time I'm playing like a Dark Souls game on PlayStation. So it's different,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm excited. And then I also went ahead and started playing Layers of Fear 2 because
that's good.
because survival horror also makes me feel Christmassy, and this one
Somehow.
is set on a great big haunted ocean liner,
Right. I mean,
which that's like
those are my best Christmas memories.
haunted ocean liners.
Yeah. I remember that one Christmas where we were on the haunted ocean liner. Don't you remember?
I feel like we actually legitimately watched Ghost Ship during Christmas,
We
though.
probably did.
That
Probably.
movie, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, Christmas Carol. Oh, there's ghosts in that. Come on.
Hey.
Christmas at its heart is spooky.
Okay.
So Layers of Fear fits.
Yeah.
I don't think they have to fit. I think it's a personal thing. Why does this personally feel like Christmas to you? It says that in the thing.
It personally feels like Christmas to me because
The ghost.
no, actually it's kind of what Lainey's saying, to be honest.
Exactly.
I hate to validate her, but
When she's being
like,
stupid on purpose.
Shut
Gosh
up.
darn it.
Dark Souls is a game that I go back to whenever I want to feel sort of realigned. Like it's like going home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel really comfortable with it. It's I mean it's my favorite game of the decade and all of that.
I get it.
you know? But for Layers of Fear 2, like that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
it's the spooky thing.
It's
It's
the spooky.
spooky.
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's spooky in a, you know, it's spooky in a Christmassy way though. I don't know how to
Christmas-
describe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
at its heart is a spooky hoe.
But it's a type of spooky. Like it's a certain spooky vibe.
Spooky hoe.
Yeah, sure.
That's spooky vibe.
Whatever gets you going.
Whatever gets you going.
Anyway, that's all.
Okay.
As my grandma said, whatever turns you on.
Your grandmother
grandma
is a
doesn't
wise
mince words.
lady.
And your grandmother really just
She
gets
just
right to it.
goes
Yeah,
for
she
it.
does. And if she forgot what something was called, she just called it a thinger.
A thinger. You know, I wish I could do that. Sometimes I just say the what's-it-call-it, and you're like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what to call it.
So I played Assassin's Creed 3 for Christmas. Pretty much all of the Assassin's Creed games remind me of Christmas. I think it's mainly just because they always come out a little before Christmas. And then I end up taking my time on them, and so I'm still playing them at Christmas time. In particular, though, 3 really reminds me of Christmas because I have distinct memories of taking forever to get through it and still playing it during Christmas. And then of course, the whole like forest and snow, because like you're running around the forest and there's snow everywhere. But I like the 3rd one a lot. I was reminded though that Lainey's complaints about the tutorial are pretty valid because it only took me 2.5 hours to get through it this time. But I was careening through it. I didn't stop for anything. I picked up one stupid floating page because I just thought, I wonder if I run in front of it on the ground and climb up a building in front of it, if it'll just like come to me. And it happened. And I was like, oh cool, why was I always chasing them like an idiot? But
Like Ben Franklin.
yeah, exactly, like Ben Franklin. But I don't know what you were getting at. I just decided to agree with you.
Don't really know either.
But I just like did the main quests and it took me 2.5 hours, and by the end I was like, just finish.
Right?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of being Hatham.
I get
I
it.
just want to be Connor.
Yeah.
And I got to the point when Connor is finally being trained by Achilles, like he's about to be trained. And I left the house and it was snow on the ground and I went, that's good enough.
Me.
And I'm gonna go back to it later, but it's good enough for now. I did not mean to kick your knee. I'm sorry. Lady's just crying. Anyway, the second game probably reminds me of Christmas a little bit more because I have very clear memories of playing that on like during Christmas break and Elsa was on her mission in Texas, and she had sent home a CD that switched between Christmas songs, mariachi songs, and Pitbull.
I love it. It's
And Mom was
perfect.
playing it, and it was just echoing through the whole house while I was playing Assassin's Creed.
I just
Pitbull.
wanted
Nothing
to-
more Christmas than Pitbull.
I just wanted to give you an accurate
The
I
artist.
wanted to give you an accurate feel for what it was like to serve in the Texas Houston mission. That CD should be important to you now.
Thank
We
you.
should
I will
find
listen
it.
to it. Really quickly, Aaron doesn't know who Pitbull is.
I don't.
You know who Pitbull is?
The artist, you know, the
He was really popular when I was serving my mission in Texas.
Kesha. Remember the Timber song?
Yeah.
You know, it's coming down. I'm yelling timber. You better move. You better dance. Well, he did the rap. For that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did the like.
I remember that.
Why did I decide to
I don't know.
join
I
in
can't
with you?
rap and I don't know the words. I just can simulate the sounds that I remember.
He was a time and a place.
He was.
When you were singing it by yourself, it might have sounded okay. I don't know why I decided to join in with you and make it sound like the worst thing ever.
Kind of what you do when I sing. Jensen joins in and does it purposefully bad so that I'm like, never mind, I'll stop.
Well, so every once in a while, my dad likes to sing badly on purpose.
Right.
And then it's especially funny when he starts singing like just like sounding like an idiot
That's
on
just
purpose.
how I sing.
And so he was doing that tonight, and I was like, Dad, that sounds so good. And my mom was like, you know, he was in the tap choir.
Oh boy.
I was like, I can see. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's good. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Your parents are so funny.
Our dad kind of does that, except he does well on purpose and everything, but he just sort of starts singing opera, you know, Italian opera, like just randomly.
For no reason.
For no reason. Like, he'll just walk into your room and sing. The other day, he walked into my room and just was singing Prima Donna. And I was just like, I joined in, and then he left.
And then, well, no. You gotta tell it correctly because you joined in and I joined in.
Yeah.
And then we all forgot the words at the same time. It just
True.
kind of petered out and then he just left.
True. Yeah. There's more stories we could tell, but
Another stunning
another time.
interaction with our father.
Another time and a place. Well,
That's amazing.
so for my Christmas game, I want to take you on a little journey
Oh, no.
to a year that in 2006 I was going to school with all the other kidlets, and we were all super excited because the Wii was coming out, and we were all like, we want a Wii for Christmas. And I was like, heck no, my parents aren't getting me a Wii for Christmas, because even at 6 years old I was aware how cheap my parents were. But they surprised us that
Rude.
year and got us a Wii.
I'm pretty
And
sure they surprised us the year after.
Maybe. It might have been the year after. And they got us Twilight Princess
They did.
with the Switch, and they got it for us for Christmas. So I remember sitting and watching Jensen and maybe Elsa play Twilight
no.
Princess. I didn't play it myself because I couldn't do anything.
Don't you remember the reason why we had Twilight Princess in Spanish was because
Elsa
was playing
going
it
on her mission.
and she was going to leave on her mission.
In
She was learning
Spanish.
Spanish. So she played Twilight Princess in Spanish.
Yes. So,
I remember
Twilight Princess is my Christmas game because of that long, arduous tale. So I played that, and unfortunately I didn't have a ton of time, so I was really only able to play until I got to the Ordon Village.
And she was angry the whole time.
I was angry the whole time because I forgot how you're supposed to get the cat back to the shopkeeper lady. I didn't realize that you had to catch two fish instead of one. It was annoying. But it was still like Christmas. And honestly, the annoyance just added it to it because I always get really annoyed and angry on Christmas Day.
It's really hard for us, you
Part of your
guys.
tradition to get upset for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a meltdown over something.
Your face.
What's it gonna be this year? Do you plan it in advance? I've always wondered.
Yes. This year, I think I'm just gonna walk into your room and I'm just gonna like throw something on the ground and then stomp back upstairs, and you're just gonna be like, what? And then later I'll bring it up angrily.
Maybe that's why she's been angling to get her hair did. so she can get angry about the
Dude,
state of her hair on Christmas Day.
I need to do it. It's so bad. I kind of want to get it done before the 2nd of January.
For context, we've done her hair twice in the last, 6 weeks. And it just keeps being a really traumatic ordeal for everyone
not
involved.
good. Honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna go to a salon and get it done.
And guys, it looks fine.
It looks fine.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
She's insane.
I hate my life. Okay. Let's go, guys.
So it was my birthday this month.
Woo!
Yay!
Elsa's
Happy
December
birthday.
birthday, which means that her Christmas gift and her birthday gift are the same thing.
Yeah.
No, because that would be cruel.
That hurts many people. So I'm a 32-year-old
Lady.
and I have given them birthday game assignments. So, Lainey, how did your birthday assignment go? What did I tell you had to play?
I played Detention.
I made her play Detention.
I remember it. Detention. Yes. It made me think of other things. Namely, a terrible movie I watched called Detention and a really good song called Detention. But the game itself,
Has nothing.
like what I played from the game, I did enjoy. I liked the puzzle aspects. The puzzles weren't hard enough that I was getting frustrated, but easy enough, not too easy that I was like, this is dumb. And I thought that the story was interesting, and it was kind of it's in Taiwan, and that was kind of interesting, and how there's this theme of the one security guard who's trying to get the students to rat out each other,
Yeah, it's
being
really
communist
cute.
sympathizers. It was like McCarthyism, but the opposite.
Contained to a prep school in Taiwan. Well, not even a prep
not
school.
the opposite.
Just a school.
Yeah, it was just a school in Taiwan. And I did enjoy how it starts out. How you're just in class, and then you nod off because whatever, it's Taiwan and it's raining and you're cold and you're sad and you're at school. You fall asleep. You wake up and it's night and no one is there. And it's raining and it's during a typhoon and there's a typhoon warning and you're like, it's not even the season for a typhoon and the school's just completely empty. And then it's so strange. And I did really enjoy the setup for the story. Unfortunately, I'm a complete coward and a wimp. So the second that one of the ghosts showed up, and it was I find this piece of paper, and it's got a little cartoon drawing of a child holding their breath and walking away from a ghost, and it's telling you, when you run into them, just hold your breath and walk the other way. And I was like, ah!
Like BTs.
That's scary.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't like that. And then I exit out, and I immediately hear crunch, crunch, crunch. And I'm like, is that a ghost? Is that the sound that they make? And I turn and I start walking the other way, away from where I think the crunching is. And then it's blocked. So I'm like, I can't go that way. So I turn and I start going the other way toward the ghost. And of course, it's there and it's eating something off the ground. And I didn't even check what it was. I just held my breath. I backed up. And I turned off the game. I don't even think I saved. I was like, okay, I'm done. Bye.
She took the time to hold her breath.
To
Turn off the game.
She didn't want to get attacked while she was going into the menu.
I didn't want to die. Dying's scary.
So I demanded that she play to a certain part of the game, and she refused. But
I went upstairs.
she was just like, nope, too scared, turning it off.
I came downstairs. I got myself hot Cheetos, and Elsa was like, "Did you run into this thing?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "You're not far enough in." I'm like, "I just turned it off. I don't think I saved. I'm not gonna play anymore. Bye."
So that was Lainey's attempt to play Detention.
Look, at least I didn't immediately turn off the second I started, like Layers of Fear. Which I walked into the room, I looked in one drawer, it was empty, and I turned it off.
Just the prospect of being scared that scared you.
I know.
It's honestly, though, the actual scare's not bad. It's the lead up that's
Yeah.
bad. Well,
Jensen, what game did I make you play for my birthday?
I played Inside for Elsa's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Inside is really cool and really pretty. It's got really interesting visuals, and I really liked all the puzzles and stuff. It did freak me out, even though I didn't even run into very many scary things. I got to just before the little girl in the water shows up and starts dragging you around and chasing you and stuff. I don't even know what she does because I got to an area where there was lots of water and I could empty it and refill.
No.
Okay, well, I got to an area where you could empty it and refill the water and stuff, and I messed around with the puzzle there for a little while and then was like, I'm not sure how to solve this, and I'm too scared because I know that girl's gonna show up. So I will stop here and I will come back to it later. And then I started playing Kingdom Hearts and I forgot to go back to it. But I did get to that far, you know, and it was really cool. The deaths are horrific.
Yeah.
I normally am not like squeamish about that at all. You know, I'm very desensitized. But I think the first or second time I got killed. Oh no, it was the first time I got killed by a dog, and I was like, yikes! The dog just like ripped my throat out.
No.
I'm like, the whole game's in black and white and gray, but
And it's kind of, and you're kind of removed from it,
Yeah.
like at a distance.
you're like
watching
far
it from
away.
far
But
away.
I was like, but I can still see that dog just ripped my throat out, and that's really
and
scary.
your little character you're playing as is
He's
so
just a
helpless.
kid.
Yeah.
And he's just like little, and he
He's
just
just a kid.
flops everywhere, and he doesn't make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Oh.
brutally dispatched.
Yeah, and there was one time too where I was running and a guy caught up to me and he grabbed me and choked me until
Yeah.
I was gone, and I was just like,
oh my gosh.
holy crap!
That's
So that was really scary.
Nice.
And then the part with the pigs and like the
No.
worms coming out of them controlling
Stop.
the
Yeah.
pigs,
Ew.
that was really creepy.
Oh no.
And I was proud of myself though that I figured out that one pretty quick. I think it was the second or third time. Oh no, I died twice because the first time the pig got up and started running towards me, and I just turned around and was like, "But you're dead!" And then it like headbutted me, and I thought I was fine at first. It headbutted me the first time, and I got up, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I started to try and run from him, but he was way too fast, and he hit me, and I was like, what the hell? And then I tried again, and he just caught up to me really fast, and I was just like, how am I supposed to get away from him? He's too fast. And then I realized you're supposed to like turn and jump over him and then jump
Yeah.
back and stuff, and I got it. But
Yeah.
and then the part with the chicks where you're supposed to, there's like a part where there's a hay bale and you're supposed to knock it off and then climb up, and you're supposed to get these chicks to follow you and then get them to get sucked up into this thing that shoots them at the hay bale. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I feel bad.
Chickens.
They were fine.
Yeah.
I tested it with one of them. I timed it so that only one would get sucked up because I was like, what's going to happen if they go through there? Are they going to die? And he got shot up and then he landed and immediately ran back over to me. And I was like, okay, they're fine.
Yeah.
But then when I did it and I shot them up there, after they all fell and they chased me over to push the hay bale where I needed to go. And one of them didn't move.
Yeah. Yeah, there's usually one or two
And I
that
was
don't
like,
move after you actually do the hay bale. And I was just like, maybe they're just sleeping.
I know. I was like, he's okay. Okay, you guys. He's fine. He's just sleeping.
That's a nice game.
But
to make
anyway.
and play over Christmas.
It was
Anyways,
for my birthday.
it was really
On
interesting though,
Christmas.
and I like the puzzles, and I will have to go back and finish it. But yeah, I don't want to die anymore because it's really scary.
And
Aaron.
for my birthday, Aaron, you played. Well, you gave another chance because you played it before a little.
I played Bloodborne, and I want to play some more, but it's a game I don't think I can play by myself. It just feels lonely,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I can just hear men in the background crying in their homes, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
It's-
that's a little too real.
Yeah. Like, it's an awesome game. Like, I started playing it last night, and Zach was awake and watching me. And then he has a really weird sleep schedule because he can't sleep at normal times. And so he started to, like, fall asleep. I was like, no, don't leave me. And so I was watching a video on how to do it, and I don't know. I need someone with me. So tonight I would like to play with all of you and have you help me.
I love that plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help me to be able to be like, oh, that's what you do.
Mhm.
Because, what does that sentence even mean? I'm I would like to be good at Bloodborne, but I feel like I'm too dumb to figure it out on my own. So I just need to sort of watch someone else do it.
I feel like I can be good at it, but I want someone to tell me every move to make because I don't want to keep dying over and over and over again and having to redo it. So that's part of it.
I just feel like I'm kind of confused because I feel like I should be good or better at Bloodborne than I am at other Souls games. Because Bloodborne rewards, like, ballsiness.
It kind of plays more to your
Which
natural strengths as a
is
fighter.
generally me. I'm a little more ballsy and a little bit more like, what the heck? Let's go in for that extra hit. And Dark Souls doesn't reward that, but Bloodborne does. But for some weird reason, when I play Bloodborne, I'm, like, way too cautious. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to be your company while you play Bloodborne.
Yay.
I do think it's a game that can get a little pensive and existentially, and if you're not in the mood for that, it can be a real bummer.
Yeah.
That's why I listen to a podcast while I play it.
Yeah, I do too, especially when I'm grinding. I'll listen to podcasts a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this next part, and also kind of the main part of this episode, we are just going to share our lists, and I'll go first because I kind of want to explain a little bit about my criteria, and then you guys can all kind of do the same because we were pretty loose about this.
We were supposed to use criteria?
Well, that's what I mean, is that you kind of come up with your own personal criteria, I feel like.
My heart's desires.
Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
much. Like, essentially, so what we did was the guideline that we did is that we were going to be ranking all of the games that we personally played for the past year and a few months, basically since we started this podcast. And because this is going to be the end of our first season, and it's kind of Game of the Year-ish, but the thing is that a lot of these games didn't come out this year. A lot of these games are just games we played. And we decided that we want to do this because we want to, and we can do what we want.
It's our podcast.
It's our podcast. So for my list, I left off a few things intentionally that I played this year. And mostly it was games like Stardew Valley or Minecraft or The Sims, where it's like these are games that I go back to all the time, and I don't really feel like it makes sense to just put them on my like list every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tried to stick to the games that I experienced for the first time in 2019 was sort of the way that I worded it to myself. And there's a few games that I left off because I feel like I didn't play them enough. Like, for example, Dauntless. I didn't play that enough, I feel like, to put it on my list. And there's a few other things that, like, I just kind of picked up the demo of it, and that was it. And I just didn't get far enough with it. So I've limited myself. With all of that criteria, I ended up with a list of 27 games that I put on my list. And now I'm just going to go through the list from the ones that I liked the least all the way down to my favorite game that I played. And I'm just going to say one sentence about each of them. 27, WWE 2K20. I recommend actually wrestling instead. 26, Bandersnatch. You can choose your adventure. Kind of. 20, The Room. A tiny, cute mystery.
25.
25.
Oh, I'm sorry. 25. I've already messed this up.
It's okay.
25, The Room. A tiny, cute mystery. 24, Anthem. My favorite online action multiplayer, which is hilarious because I don't play those. 23, Don't Knock Twice. Bad parent survival horror. 22, Conan Exiles. Minecraft, but with Beepus. 21, Man of Medan, one of the 3 best boat/water-based horror games of the summer of 2019. 20, Sony Spider-Man, and I just wrote Spider Cop. 19, Daddy Dream Date. I hope wholesome hot single dad isn't a trope that stays behind us in the 2010s.
Oh, it
I
better
want
not.
more of that.
It's too
18, I know, it was pretty good. 18, Shadow of Mordor. Just play a dubstep mashup of the Assassin's theme and some Loader soundtrack rather than my voice right here. We're just gonna edit this out of me saying that and just play that.
Okay.
I'll
Yes.
find it. I'm sure it exists.
Okay.
And then 17, Until Dawn. Stupid babies need so much saving. 16, Inside. Dystopian puzzly side-scroller morphs into eldritch horror puzzly side-scroller. Amnesia, The Dark Descent. When you have amnesia, everything is a spoiler. 14, Jedi, The Fallen Order. And I just didn't write anything.
You just wrote it's.
It is.
I started to think of something and then I
It's.
couldn't. So that one I just didn't have anything to
It's
say
just
about it yet.
it's.
Yeah.
It's.
It's certainly it's.
It is.
It is.
It is. I think what I meant to say is it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
True.
Okay.
That's probably what I was trying
But
to
I
say.
mean-
Mandalorian, Fallen
Yes.
Order.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
And then 13, Code Vein. Where have you been all my life? 12, Fire Emblem. I like turn-based combat now. 11, Majora's Mask.
I think
And
you said 11 twice in a row.
I know I might have. Well, 12 was Fire Emblem. 11 is Majora's Mask. An existential crisis for late adolescence.
True.
10, Undertale, aggressively charming.
Yeah.
9, Mass Effect, alien dating simulator. 8, Dragon Age, Alistair dating simulator. 7, A Plague Tale Innocence. Bibis Francis.
Baby, it's François. Gotta say a little more French.
Yeah, I can't do a French
Enfant,
accent.
enfant.
I can't do a French
She speaks
accent
Spanish
anymore.
now, Lainey.
I speak Spanish now. It ruined every other language
Well,
I
I
ever
speak
tried to
English.
Bébé François.
François. Baby, François.
6, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I broke down crying, but I'm okay now. 5, Detention, Taiwanese ghosts traumatize me. 4, Death Stranding. It's Fetch Quest the game, and I couldn't be happier. 3, What Remains of Edith Finch. Working through family trauma, the game. 2, Devil May Cry 5. Just leave me alone with my sexy demon boys. And number 1, my favorite game that I've played all year, Sekiro. It's actually perfect.
Just so that I don't get confused and I wrote down everything because I saw Jensen writing down everything she played. I'm just gonna go with it.
Oh, I didn't write down everything.
Yeah. But understand that because I haven't played some of these enough, they are in lower spots than they probably deserve to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of going with, I don't know, the game of the year feeling of 2019 mostly, I guess. Kind of.
For what you played so far.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, one of the nice things about this looser format is, say you play one of these games in 2020 and you get more of the full experience out of it in 2020. I see no reason why you can't put it on your 2020 list.
Yeah.
And at that point, adjust its ranking depending.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure. Okay, so 35 is MLB The Show 19. Is this what hell is like?
Yes.
34, Life is Strange. No, every teenager talks like this, I promise. Or, this dialogue might be worse than the rooms.
You're tearing me apart. I'm fed up with this world.
Because at least the room is actually, like,
Anyway,
funny.
how's your sex life?
Oh, Mark,
no.
what a story. Okay, sorry. Okay, 33. Dauntless. This will be more fun with people. 32. The Sinking City. Awesome trailer, not as awesome gameplay. 31. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. Insanely cute and I need to finish it. 30. Degrees of Separation. Can't wait for the romantic conclusion. 29. Astral Chain. I have the chain, but will they hand me the reins? 28. Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night. I want to be a vampire.
Same though.
27. Man of Medan. Subtle horror rocks my socks. 26. Yoshi's Crafted World. Fun and cute, but needs more Yoshi's Island difficulty. 25. Mass Effect. FPS RPG. Why haven't I played these yet? 24. Dragon Age. I can talk, fight, and sleep at the same time.
True.
Yes.
23. Dark Souls. I won't beat this before I die. 22. What Remains of Edith Finch. A freaking work of art. 21. The Last Guardian. Trico is the goodest boy.
Oh.
20. Code Vein. I can have pink hair and a giant sword. I can have it all. 19. Sekiro. Stealth is my jam, but does jam go with spicy Soulsborne difficulty mustard?
Yes.
18. Bloodborne. Oh my gosh, I'm so lonely.
Me? Did I ghostwrite that?
17, Kingdom Hearts 3, wholesome and confusing AF.
That's all Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts. That's all of
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
No, not the first one. That one's far less confusing.
Still confusing though, because it's still like, why are there Final Fantasy characters with Disney characters?
It was
Why
not
not?
confusing at the time.
I mean, true.
I gotta say, well, first time I played it,
Look,
it was not
can I
confusing.
just
It made
say,
total
when
sense.
I was a little kid, a little one, knee high to a snowblower,
Where's the sentence going and can it end?
sometimes I start a sentence and I don't really know where it's going to end. I just try to find my way
we know.
along. Never mind. But I remember watching it and being like, why are there a bunch of Final Fantasy characters, but there's also Goofy? Does he feel self-conscious around them because he's an anthropomorphic dog and they're these beautiful people? I don't know. Okay, let's keep going.
Let's see. You Norda boy.
Okay, Norda boy.
16, Arkham Asylum, the start of something beautiful. 15, Persona 5, like playing an anime. 14, Final Fantasy 15, friendship is manly.
Yes.
13, Assassin's Creed, it's so beautiful, but didn't I already sneak through this fort?
Which Assassin's Creed?
All
There
of
are
them.
like 14
Oh,
of them.
sorry, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I was like, so beautiful. The first one? I mean,
No.
it's okay.
Yeah, Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
12.
And also, yes, you did probably sneak through that fort before.
I'm sorry, it just feels so repetitive. I love it, but like every island, it's all right. Like, okay, now go to this fort anyway. Number 12, Anthem, squad goals and flying. 11, Witcher 3. I might beat the game before I die. 10, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I feel like a kid again. 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Serving alcohol is an important mission too, okay? Number 8, Death Stranding. BB is everything. 7, Link's Awakening. Look at his floppy hat. It's so cute. It's so good. 6, Arkham Knight. I'm Batman. Number 5, and this happened coincidentally. I didn't mean to do this. Devil May Cry 5. So ridiculous, but so good. 4, Control. Look what I can do. 3, God of War. I'm not crying, you're crying. Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. Absolutely breathtaking in every way. Number 1, Jedi Fallen Order. If anything happens to BD1, I don't know what I'll do.
You will kill everyone in this room. And
And
then
then
yourself.
myself.
I had to really narrow down my games because I play an insane amount of games. So I only had ones that I either finished or played a significant amount of. So I have 33 games on here. 33, Kingdom Hearts 2. It feels like it was made with absolutely no love. It's a huge disappointment.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Quite the
Jensen's like,
indictment.
there's no love in this game.
It just it's become more clear to me since playing Kingdom Hearts 3 that Kingdom Hearts 2 was made with no love. I'm sorry.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay. 32, Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars. It takes too long to get between ships, and the strategy sections get frustrating. 31, Spyro 2, only mildly sucky. 30, Assassin's Creed, more frustrating than I remembered. 29, Saints Row 2, would have been higher, but sound errors resulted in awkwardly silent playthrough.
Ooh.
28, Infamous, evil playthrough is too mustache twirly. 27, Assassin's Creed 2, still great, but now that I'm an adult, Ezio makes me roll my eyes. 26, NBA 2K20, shocked that I liked it as much as I did. 25, Batman Arkham Asylum, I'm Batman. I'm Batman, Aaron. I'm Batman.
Oh, bring it.
Who's the real Batman? What's the... Never mind.
24, Outlast Whistleblower. I just ran the whole time. 23, Spyro 3. Why is there skateboarding in this?
Why isn't there skateboarding in
There
this?
shouldn't be skateboarding in it. You're a dragon. You can fly.
He's a dragon. He can do anything he wants.
Maybe he
So-
likes it.
I hate it.
Because it was the early 2000s.
It's good.
It's the worst part of the game. And it's a fun game. All right, 22, Dead Space. Not as scary or as difficult as I was led to believe, but I'm pleased with it. 21, Man of Medan. Fliss deserved better than to be stuck with those monkeys. 20, Red Dead Redemption 2. Every game should have hair growth. 19, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is really only on the list because I finished it. I don't remember the quality of the game. I started it when I was like 15.
And then
maybe?
she played it until the very end, right before you go into the Great Hall, and it's been like that for years.
I was like 2 minutes away from beating it.
Yeah.
And those 2 minutes were a movie scene.
Okay.
West of Loathing. Oh, wait. No, wait.
Wait, you
I jumped
Kingdom
forward.
Hearts 3.
Okay. 18. Kingdom Hearts 3. Loads of fun. But I could probably do without the whole Organization 13 plot.
It's really dumb.
It's the only thing I don't care for in the game. It's a really great game otherwise. I just don't understand Organization 13. 17, West of Loathing. I need more RPGs like this. 16, Far Cry 5. I did testing for this game, you guys.
She couldn't tell us when she was doing the testing.
No, I couldn't.
She's just like, I'm doing
I was
something
just like,
cool.
I'm doing something for a AAA game, you guys. It's really fun.
Had to sign one of them NDAs.
Yeah, but it's over now because the game came out. I mean,
It's
it came
over
out
now.
like forever ago.
I've
been able to talk about it for a while now. 15, God of War. Boy.
Boy.
14, Greedfall. Spiders wants to be like BioWare, and I'm pleased with the progress they've made. 13, Vampire. I need more vampire games. I need more vampire games, even more vampire-y than this. But even so, it was really great. 12, Dark Cloud. Its position on this list is mostly nostalgia-based. 11, Ratchet and Clank. Just pure happiness and fun. 10, Anthem, my favorite multiplayer. 9, Headlander. Headless hijinks is what I wrote.
That's some nice alliteration there.
I thought it was great. 8, Spider-Man. Web traversal finally done right. 7, Far Cry New Dawn. Best photo mode. 6, Prey. Solving puzzles as a cup is very satisfying. 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Perfect amount of puzzles, but not enough fighting to teach me not to suck. 4, Spyro. He's so cute. 3, Control. Amazing. When is the next one? Also, when is the DLC? Also, is Ati God?
Probably.
Yeah.
God
2,
is a janitor, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
bye.
a janitor. 2, Outer Worlds. Amazing. I wish there had been a third-person view, but otherwise, I got to play it exactly how I wanted. And number 1, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Almost flawless.
Very good.
Mhm.
Okay, so for my list, I do not play as many games as any of the other people here. So I basically listed all the games I played except for maybe a couple that I don't remember and like The Sims, because I'm not going to count The Sims, because everyone knows The Sims and everyone's played it. Okay, so starting at number...
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just going to say, yeah, start from the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I numbered it normally, and then I was like, dang it. So, starting with number 26, Madden, I guess. Big oof. Madden 2K20 was a time. For number 25, Assassin's Creed 3. Where do you get to play as the main character? When does that happen? Never? Okay. 24, Bandersnatch. I decided to play it. Or maybe Netflix decided because choice is an illusion. 23, Detention. Spooky, suddenly Murder Cult. 22, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Puzzle and Cry. 21, Bloodborne. I wish I could get good. 20, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Gravity Falls, but the Pines kids are assassins in Victorian London. 19, Resi 7. Cannibal zombies with no manners. 18, Dark Souls. A lot easier once you upgrade your equipment. 17, Conan Exiles. Me like big strong cannibal simulator. 16, Far Cry New Dawn. A post-apocalypse where the scenes and rave kids have taken over. 15, Code Vein. Anime Dark Souls. 14, Man of Medan. Long teaser for Little Hope. 13, Far Cry 5. Fight a cult with chutzpah. 12, Fable 3. Industrialism bad. 11, Greedfall. Colonialism bad. 10, Saints Row 2. Strangely fashioned for being set in a time that had no fashion. Number 9, Fable 2, Terrible Spouse Simulator. 8, Witcher 3, Grumpy Taken 3. 7, Skyrim, still good. 6, Reckoning. No one knows the trouble I've seen and no one knows about KOA Reckoning. 5, What Remains of Edith Finch, Cathartic Murder. 4, Breath of the Wild, Princess Mononoke fanfiction. 3, Mass Effect 2, Blade Runner ran into Fifth Element. 2, DAO, Dragon Age Origins, I will play until the day I die. Number 1, Dragon Age 2, platinumed because with each day I hear no new information about the 4th game, my soul dies a little. I got my first platinum!
Good job! Woo!
Yeah!
I just realized, you guys, that I forgot to put Conan Exiles on there.
Oh,
I don't know where it was.
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
blow
to
my
put
nose
Edith
over your
Finch.
back.
I had to
Sorry.
quickly put it in and write a random thing about it. And I
yeah.
was like, first I was going to be like, it didn't cure my depression, but after playing this game, I'm okay with that. And now I'm just like, nah, it was mostly cathartic murder.
I'm like really mad you thought of the term cathartic murder because that's kind of
Right? Isn't that good? Like, I thought of it and I was like, holy crap, this is why some people think I'm smart.
I forgot to put on Spider-Man. Also, I'd like to apologize for all of the noises coming from upstairs.
Hopefully the blanket behind us is dampening that a little.
Mm.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're working on turning this into an actual, like, recording studio kind of space instead of just Aaron's basement.
Yeah.
What not video game thing are you obsessed with right now, Aaron?
I've been watching. Well, I actually just caught up with the anime called We Never Learn.
Oh.
It's current on Hulu right now, and it's your basic high school anime harem series. So, I mean, kind of problematic, but also really fun to watch.
Sometimes the harem is just extra whipped topping on your Sunday, and just, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta gobble it up.
Yeah, sometimes
Enjoy
you do.
that sweet whipped topping while you can still enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
I get it.
Elsa's just gotta look at her face like,
Elsa suddenly
is
looks
Lainey
super worried.
actually going insane? Should we call someone?
Enjoy the whipped topping while it lasts.
Or she's like contemplating yeeting Lainey into
Sorry.
the computer.
Maybe I should have rephrased it. Cringe culture is dead. I will face God and walk backwards into hell.
Anyway.
Anyway. Yeah, it's really fun though. I like it. And I watch it and I'm like, is this James's life?
Oh boy.
Because the main character is really smart, but absolutely clueless to the fact that all of these women just want him so badly.
It does describe James.
It does.
You know, I've always felt like there was something off about him, and now I think you've helped me put my finger on it. He's trying so hard to be an anime protagonist.
Yeah.
But
True.
he's not trying. That's the funny thing. It just happens.
He just is an anime
He
protagonist.
is.
Did it. He has reached.
There's anime.
No, like
Who's
honestly, if like we came over, you know, a few more times and James wasn't here, and I was like, "Hey, where's James been? We haven't seen him in a while." And you were like, "Oh, he fell into a portal fantasy."
He's
And
in
now
a
he's
isekai,
he's
guys.
starring in his own isekai now with like a harem of women. I would just be like,
Ah.
"Yeah, that makes sense."
Other than that, still The Mandalorian. And
Oh yeah, I
Nice,
forgot about
yes,
that.
Yeah, we
All that
finally
fun
watched
stuff.
The Mandalorian. We
It-
were a little slow on
We
the
were
uptake.
really excited though, this most recent episode, that it was an hour and a half long, but I don't know why every 30 seconds it had to show the buffering symbol.
for like a minute.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Oh.
Yeah, well, our connection.
It took us an hour and a half to get through the episode because it kept
Gotcha.
buffering every 30 seconds.
our
But we
Disney Plus
refused
was
to
not.
stop because it was a really interesting
It was
episode.
We
such
live-
a good episode.
We live in Utah, and people in Utah really like Disney, and so
Yeah.
they've been watching a lot of Disney Plus. So
Well, I'm enjoying
Boy.
it, and I am especially liking how closely it's sticking with traditional Western tropes.
yeah,
And I didn't expect it to be so episodic because
Mhm.
it's, you know, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like, it is, and I like that about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've got questions. I'm a little nervous because I feel like they keep mentioning taking off his helmet so often that I'm sure it's now I'm like sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably before the end of this first season, and I wish they wouldn't.
I don't really
Yeah.
want
Like,
them
I
to.
wish they would leave it on.
I
for a
Leave
while
the
longer.
I kind of want
mystery.
his face to just never be revealed.
I know what Pedro Pascal
Well,
looks
I know.
like.
I mean, I know what he looks like. I'm
I
not sitting
do-
here wondering. I
as
can look
a-
on IMDb.
As a writer, I wouldn't be able to resist a storyline where that helmet comes off. But I don't know that I need it yet. I think
Yeah.
that that's something that you could do later.
Slow burn.
And there's so many ways that you could make the payoff of that so great. And I'm worried they're just gonna rush
Yeah.
through to it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna.
I want it to
I'm worried about
hurt.
that too.
I want my heart to break when he lifts his mask.
If I'm
right?
not sobbing on the floor, then they haven't done
They've
it right.
done it incorrectly.
Part of me wishes they would have kept Pedro Pascal a secret, so it's like, who's behind the mask? What does he
Sure.
Oh,
look
that would
like?
have been cool.
I probably would have
Like,
recognized his voice.
Master Chief.
though.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have.
I couldn't. He does an accent in Game of Thrones, so
But he's been in interviews and stuff, and
I don't watch interviews. I'm not a nerd.
But his voice it's so much more
You
gritty.
are.
and-
It's suddenly it's
Mysterious.
It's such a gentle-
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really
I really
good
like it.
voice.
Anyway.
I'm not in love with the Mandalorian. Let's go. Okay, bye.
Ouch.
She
Silence
honestly-
falls.
like-
then.
there was a
We're
bit.
all just like,
There was a bit where you could see his wrist in one episode, and Lady was just like, "Oh."
I can't help it. I'm a delicate Victorian lady.
Which I'm pretty sure we stole from a Tumblr.
Tantalizing wrists. Okay, let's keep
They
going.
are tantalizing wrists.
Quite nice.
Yeah, anyway. So I am currently obsessed with a couple of TV shows. I finished Atlanta finally, and I loved Atlanta, and I wanted more Atlanta, and there isn't more Atlanta. So instead, I started Fleabag, because apparently there's some similarities. And now I don't have any more Fleabag, because that one was even quicker than Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I adored them both so much. There is kind of a similar vibe, but I would say that Atlanta, it's a bit longer and it's a bit more like exploring different genres, and I don't know, I really like it. But I think that I related so deeply to Fleabag and on such a level that I did not expect, and like I watched it and I cried, and then I thought about it later and I cried some more. Like, it's so good. I just love it.
Nice. I want to watch Fleabag. And
Yeah.
I've seen Atlanta. Well, some of it. I need to finish it.
Atlanta's great.
Yeah.
It keeps getting better. Like, each episode is incrementally like getting a little bit better than it was before, and it started off at a high point, so
Yeah.
it's pretty great. So what non-video game thing are you obsessed with right now, Jensen?
Well, since I'm still working Mrs. Fields, finishing up the season, I have time to just listen to podcasts for most of the day. So I'm once again obsessed with another podcast. And this time it is Mother May I Sleep With podcast. It's Molly McAleer and guest, and they just talk about Lifetime movies. And I haven't watched any of the Lifetime movies. I can't even recall a single Lifetime movie I've ever seen. But I don't need to have seen it because they're so thorough about these movies, like describing what happens, that I feel like I've seen the movie by the end. Except for in the one episode where Molly was super, super drunk and her friend was just laughing at her the whole time. I have no idea what happened in that movie. But it was still an entertaining episode. The first episode I listened to, though, was the one with Karen Kilgariff, where they talked about Flowers in the Attic, which is a book I have not thought about for so many years.
I never want to think about that book.
Oh, goodness gracious.
She's Googling it right now. Erin's Googling the book.
Yeah, I don't really want to
Aaron,
tell
It's
you.
like
Aaron,
100 Years of Solitude,
Aaron,
but
you don't
bad.
want to Google
It's so
this.
bad. It's so bad. Go ahead and read about it.
I also had to IMDb Atlanta and Fleabag because I was like, never heard
Nice.
of those.
You're gonna be horrified.
boy.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, boy.
But
You're gonna hate it. It's awesome.
it was. It's really entertaining though, because they kind of just take down the movies. They don't like they do it with love in their hearts, because you can tell they all appreciate Lifetime movies for what they are, which is, pretty silly movies. But they have like a scale. They'll rate them from like whatever the guest's favorite movie is to Mother May I Sleep with Danger, which is apparently the most Lifetimey movie of all time. They've never talked about it though, so I don't know what it's about. but the name is ridiculous. So
It probably has to be the last episode they ever do, don't you think?
Yeah.
maybe, but there's so many Lifetime movies, they could just keep going.
Yeah, but eventually they might want to move on with their lives. And if that ever happens, they could be saving Mother May I Sleep with Danger for the final
Maybe.
episode.
Yep.
I will listen to that final episode.
I bet
then.
that's what they're doing. And that's kind of brilliant, but also kind of sad.
Yeah. But anyway, it's very entertaining. I've listened to so many episodes of things that I have no idea what they are, and it's really great. But the Flowers in the Attic one was especially great.
Yeah.
That one, and then the Fat Like Me one with Kaylee Cuoco, whatever her name is. What is her name? Cuoco. I'm stupid. Kaylee Cuoco.
I don't even know
From
who
Big Bang
Kaylee
Theory.
Cuoco is. It's just I knew Cuoco or whatever was wrong, and I was like, I bet it's Cuoco.
Every time I look at her name, I think of the big chickens you ride in Final Fantasy.
I also think it's because
So-
when you first said her name, I was like, wait, Haley Kiyoko, lesbian Jesus?
No.
And then you're... I was like, wait, no, that's not right.
No, Kaylee Cuoco from Big Bang Theory. She's
Yeah.
in a couple of the Lifetime movies. So,
Excellent.
anyway, I talked far too much about
Wow.
it. I'll probably
It's
cut
alright.
out part of that.
Lainey, what non-video game thing are you obsessed with right now?
Well, because I've been at work and it's been the busy season and the busy time in the busy season, I've been mostly listening to podcasts. So the other thing that I am obsessed with is a new podcast from the McElroys, because it's always the McElroys. But this one is called Sawbones, and it's from Justin McElroy and his wife, Dr. Sydney McElroy. And they sort of just go, it's a marital tour of misguided medicine. And they basically just pick a topic in medicine, and then they go through the historical, like, baggage of that topic. So the first episode they did was on trepanation, which was like an early form of brain surgery that was used for like poor reasons, like this person has ghosts in their brain. We should make a hole in
Let's
their
let
skull.
them out.
Let's let them out. And yeah, so like there's episodes we talked about cataracts and like early surgery with that. That one's kind of squeamy though. So it's not great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start with that one, but
Oh, the cataracts are
It's
in
not great.
eyes.
I
Oh,
kind
thank
of,
you.
weirdly enough, that one didn't make me super squeamish, but I know people did get squeamish during that episode. The
Yeah.
one that made me kind of sick was bloodletting,
Yeah.
because blood's gross, guys, and it belongs in your body. But yeah, that's what I've been mostly obsessed with. It's really good. It's a comedy podcast, and it's also really fun because they started out right before Sydney gets pregnant with, I think, their first child. So they kind of go on a pregnancy thing where they talk about lots of pregnancy throughout history. It was neat. And besides that, I've been mostly just obsessed with the video game that I was trying to platinum. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
And congratulations on that.
I know, it
Yeah.
was so fun because all the achievements I had left were for like doing all the douchebaggy things. So I just made the biggest douchebag that ever douchebagged. But I like ended up really liking him at the end. I was like, like he's crappy. And Marius a la carte Hawk was like an absolute bastard. But he was just trying to do what he thought was right, And I cried, and he killed his romance interest, so, like, I'm so sad. Okay, it's fine. Poor boy. Maybe in
Thank
another
you.
world, he and Anders were able to live happily.
Thank you, Lane. We're proud of you for your first platinum. We're proud of you for your mission crawl. And we're proud of you for your very cute hair that you need to stop complaining about.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's gonna go back to brown before I leave.
Anyway.
It's gonna go back! I can't grow it out with bleach.
So the last question that we are going to pose to the princesses for the year 2019, for the entire decade. Just what games are you looking forward to playing most in 2020, guys?
Oh boy. The decade?
Yeah,
It's
the
a new
end-
decade!
It's the end of the decade. It's going from 19 to 20. I'll explain later. So Erin,
We're going into a new decade.
Erin, what are you looking forward to playing the most in 2020?
Ooh, I'm looking forward to playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm.
It looks amazing and beautiful. And the Final Fantasy VII remake looks, oh my gosh.
I wanna play
just, wow. I've never played the original, but I got chills watching the trailer for it. The most recent one. Looks, yeah. So good.
Lovely.
Yes,
Silence.
very good.
Silence
I think
follows.
I'll also play Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, because, yeah, I don't know. I've always been curious about it.
You should
Beautiful
play it
sense
and
of
get ready
art.
for the second one.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm so excited about.
Which I
called it immediately
Except-
after I finished the first game. I turned to Lainey and said, they should make a second one. I bet they'll make a second
She
one.
said
And she was like,
pokes in
Yes.
into my personal
and she was
space.
like, they probably won't. I bet this is a contained story.
Look, I'm just saying, it's art, and how often does a good game get a sequel? Or a good game get a fourth in a series, and we've been waiting for a really long time.
Now she's on to Dragon Age. Okay, moving on.
Anyway.
The only thing is, isn't it an Xbox exclusive?
Not
it
anymore.
better not be.
Oh, good.
Hellblade, isn't it?
No, I mean the second one.
Oh, the
I
second
hope
one.
not.
It better
I
not be.
doubt it because they released the first one on PlayStation first,
Yeah.
right? And then they did it, and then they ended up releasing
Think.
physical copies that you could play on either Xbox or PlayStation. At least that's what I remember.
Okay.
I think.
But it was definitely on PlayStation for the first game, so I'd be really surprised if they did it as an Xbox exclusive for the second. But it could be that I just skipped over that part of the article because I didn't care, and I was just excited the game was happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Xbox is gonna have to do a lot to gain back my trust. Sorry.
They're gonna have to do Fable 4.
True.
They're not quite.
Another terrible spouse simulator. Oh my gosh, guys, please make it.
So in
Elsa.
2020, I am looking forward to Bayonetta 3, which has been talked about. So yeah, dope. I'm so excited for that. And also Hellblade 2 was the other thing that I'm super stoked for. We don't actually know if it's coming out in 2020. They haven't given an actual release date. They
Oh.
just announced the game and showed the trailer.
Okay.
And there's some speculation that they might wait to release it on PS5. So that's why I don't think it's an Xbox exclusive also. Because they might be waiting for Xbox 5. We'll see.
Nice.
Cool.
But I'm super excited for that. Even if it doesn't come out in 2020, I'm still excited for its announcement and its eventuality. But yeah, Bayonetta 3 is the one that I'm stoked about that like is supposed to be coming out in 2020 for sure. So yeah. Woo. Jensen, what are you looking forward to?
Cyberpunk 2077, obviously. Obviously. I am so excited for that. If I have a job when that game comes out, you know what I mean? Who knows what my life will be like when it comes out. But if I have a job, I'm taking the day off so I can play it. I am so excited for Cyberpunk. And then I'm also excited for Vampire the Masquerade 2, but to a slightly lesser degree. I'm really stoked for it because I thought that it would never get a sequel. I played the first one and I was like, this is amazing. This is an almost perfect vampire game if it weren't so, like, you know, old.
Old.
Because I played it like 2 years ago. So I was like, wow, this didn't age super well. But I thought it would never get a sequel. And now that I know it is, I'm really excited for that. But I'm definitely more excited for Cyberpunk.
Nice. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be gone for all of 2020 and then half of 2021. So when I get back, there will be lots of new video games and stuff, and I'm really hoping, I'm holding out hope, I'm wishing on a star that when I get back,
Wishing on a star.
okay. I'm hoping that when I get back halfway through 2021, close to my birthday, that I will have Dragon Age 4 waiting for me. And if it's not, I would be really sad. So, if it's not, then yeah, Cyberpunk will be fine, I guess. It's fine. I just... Dragon Age 4 should be out. We got a teaser literally a year ago, and we still haven't had anything from them.
I'm sorry, lady.
That's
At least
frustrating.
I can be gone and I won't be in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, I thought there would never be another Thief game. But there was.
Was. And you know what?
And now there'll never be another.
Which is really
Because
sad.
everyone sucks and they're like, it's such a bad game. It's like, okay, it
It
only
was
takes the
awesome.
classics and combines it with new gameplay. But okay, yeah, you're right.
I-
It's the worst.
I
I'm not
really
mad.
enjoyed it.
I thought
I'm
it was
sorry,
fun.
Erin.
And
I
I
shouldn't have
I
reminded
played
you.
more of the Thief games.
I liked the level and a half that I played.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
People are just dumb.
People
Yeah.
are done. Look, this is if there's anything that we've learned being fans of video games, people are dumb. That's what I've
That's what
learned.
we learned?
That's what I've learned from video games is that people are dumb.
I've learned
Bye.
that I can escape from people by playing video games.
Oh yeah, and you
So
don't have to
people.
do drugs or alcohol to escape. You can also play video games.
Yes.
Or
Thanks,
you
Dare.
Dare.
Thanks, McGrath.
Dare to not do drugs and instead play video games because you are going to need an escape from this hellscape we call life. Okay, bye.
We're not saying goodbye.
She keeps wanting to end it on her line, but they keep being stupid.
I'm sorry, I always end everything I say with K bye because I want it to be like my drop the mic moment, but I never have a drop the mic moment because I'm not very funny.
That's not the problem.
You're the problem!
You're very funny. It's just the way you're funny.
Do we want to do New Year's resolution games, and do we want to like figure them out now, or do we want to figure them out next?
I think
I
we're
don't know
gonna
if I'm
figure
gonna
it out
in the
for our
interim.
New Year's episode when we do our Would You Rather.
Yeah.
We can also do our New Year's resolution games then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Lainey doesn't
I
probably
won't
need
be
one
able
because
to
she's
participate.
sleeping in the
My New Year's resolution game is the game of Jesus Christ. Goodbye.
No. They're
Stop
actually
ending everything you
They're
say with
actually
goodbye.
making that game. It looks so
Wait,
what?
what?
There's a
Yeah.
game called Jesus where
Yeah.
you play as Jesus.
It looks really
and
bad.
you
Oh,
perform
no.
miracles, and I'm just like, that is
That
so
sounds
disrespectful.
like it will be incredibly sacrilegious.
Yeah.
It does.
And
Is it
not
gonna be
in a
like Kirk
funny
Cameron
way,
saving
right?
Christmas.
Oh no.
Oh, I hate that.
No,
so
Kirk
much.
That looks
Cameron.
so
the
bad.
real
No,
point.
Kirk
The
Cameron,
real point
you're
of
wrong.
Christmas isn't the stuff. Did you learn nothing from every Christmas movie?
It looks pretty upsetting.
Like to end this episode, our season finale.
Season finale, you guys,
First
we
season,
made
you
it.
guys. We've got like 20 listeners.
I
and it's
honestly didn't
exciting.
know. I didn't think I'd live this long. So.
And it's slightly longer than like, a season would typically
Yeah.
be because we kind of
more than a year.
didn't think about that.
Yeah. So you know what? It's okay. Anyway, but just want to thank everyone, especially my amazing husband Zach. I don't want to be super cheesy, but he always sets up the recording stuff for us, and he has written us a theme song
Yes.
that will premiere for our first episode for season 2 coming next month.
I'm so stoked you did that.
I know, it's so
It's
good.
real good, you
I
guys.
love
so
it.
excited.
It's so good.
Gonna like it.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Princess in Pod. Send us any feedback you have or questions. We also have an email address, princessandanotherpodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to send us comments there as well, or any episode ideas, really. We'd be open to anything. Rate, review, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. Your princess isn't in this podcast, but maybe she'll be in a podcast in the next decade. We'll see.